Next up, I do want to really go into depth on this topic regarding a coaching change that happened in the NBA. In this case, the Milwaukee Bucks. And this was kind of shocking, but there have been signs that it was going to happen. So let me break it down. Earlier in the week, the Bucks GM John Horst decided to dismiss Adrian Griffin. He was a rookie head coach for the team. Now, it's very unusual. 43 games into the season, they had a 30-13 record. That's actually very good. Good enough for second in the East behind the Boston Celtics. So it was really surprising when John Horst and the Bucks GM hired Griffin, a rookie head coach, assistant for many years. He used to play in the game. But what happened? I mean, very poor defense, but I'll really get into it. So, and a lot of that really had to do with really the players and the coach not being on the same page. Their defense going from fourth last season when Mike Budenholzer was a coach to now 22nd, which is really bad. But their offensive talent with Giannis, Dame Dalla, Brook Lopez, Chris Middleton kind of helping the team, carry them a little bit. And they haven't really looked good. Despite the record, they don't look like a championship team defensively. I mean, their talent might be enough to get past the first round, but the second round, they could go home. So, and look, even with the acquisition of Damian Lillard, I was concerned about how they would be defensively. I'm not a Bucks fan. It's just I thought getting rid of Drew Holiday, bringing in Lillard, they would have a setback defensively, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, Dame has played well. I mean, he was voted in with Giannis as an all-star this season, but it hasn't always looked his best. Like it took some time for Dame and Giannis to find their on-court chemistry in the pick and roll. So it's been a work in progress for a while. And Dame is not really a great defender, great player, but defense not really his best. Shot making, playmaking, this is what he's great at. And look, I really think this whole mess could have been sorted out with the coaching if they had at least kept Budenholzer for maybe one more year, but then I know the sensitivity of his personal situation that I don't want to go to. I mean, at the time of Budenholzer's dismissal, he only got 2 years left on his contract and could have just simply hired Doc Rivers in the offseason. I mean, Doc Rivers went from, excuse me, last summer, fired from the 76ers to then becoming part of ESPN's broadcasting crew. And, for him, as he said in his introductory press conference, for him, it was an extended break. And of course, he's taking the job because an opportunity to win, the stars are there. He went to college in Marquette. So, of course, many reasons to coach the Bucks. But, I mean, it could have been sorted had it all been done last offseason and he signs a 4-year, $40 million contract. This whole situation with bringing in a veteran coach like Doc, who, I mean, does have a shady playoff record with recent teams he's coached, like the Clippers and 76ers, with losing 3-1 leads or 3-2 leads, hasn't really made him look good. So I get why some people are not happy. Fans are not happy with the firing. And Adrian Griffin, if he's more than qualified to be a head coach, why didn't the Toronto Raptors, promote him to the position and instead had to do a thorough search to hire Darko Rajakovic? It's nothing against Darko or anything. It's just that the whole situation could have been much easier. Hire Adrian Griffin instead. Let him grow as a head coach. Grow with the team with Scotty Barnes, as the new face of the franchise. Now the Raptors with RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley. The team they got, they're not great, but they'll be good soon, even though they traded Anunoby and Siakam. I mean, I just think this whole situation could have been sorted if I blame the Raptors partially for not promoting Adrian Griffin, and then he had to take the job in Milwaukee, be in a high intense pressure situation to deliver a championship, thinking that he was going to also coach Drew Holiday. They trade Holiday for Lillard before media day. The defense suffers, and plus I saw a video of a breakdown of their defensive schemes. It hasn't really made them look good. It's made players like Giannis publicly frustrated, Brook Lopez agitated with their defensive schemes, Bobby Portis angry at the coach. So of course, like players are trying, but they're not really buying in. And there are signs. There were actually signs when Terry Stotts, I think like preseason, just before the season started. I mean, he was brought in, and then something happened. What I thought it was like maybe a lower back issue. Speculation says that he had an argument with Adrian Griffin on the defensive schemes and abruptly resigned from being an assistant on the team. So that was really eye-opening. That was like maybe the first sign of like trouble in Milwaukee. And look, Doc Rivers, he is a great coach. I mean, he is 9th all-time in wins. And like I said, there have been some playoff disappointments. After winning the 2008 title with the Celtics, he did coach the Celtics back to the 2010 finals, but lost. And he's coached plenty of Hall of Famers, like, you know, the Garnett, the KG, the Pierce, Allen, Rondo, and then the Clippers with Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan, and JJ Redick. And then in Philadelphia, you had like for maybe a year of Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid and James Harden and a rising star like Tyrese Maxey. So he knows how to manage and handle young and veteran stars, and this is what he's going to do now in Milwaukee. But I mean, the Bucks even look worse because now they're paying 3 head coaches at the same time. They give a huge contract to Rivers. They now have to pay Budenholzer for this season and the next season. And now they have to pay the remaining for Adrian Griffin. So that's 3 head coaches on their payroll. And it's already kind of an expensive payroll the Bucks have. So Rivers' reputation in recent years does come into question. But I can say for certain he needs to make this work. And he did say in the press conference he wouldn't wish this on anyone, but this isn't a good situation. The Bucks may have a good roster, but they have a lot of fixing to do on defense, and that is on Rivers to do, and that is on Doc Rivers to also solve and really amplify the on-court chemistry of Giannis and Dame.